Welcome back to PowersPowWow the Music. Peace always to you. Today I will be speaking with Dan Tillery and Dave G, songwriters and musicians. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad you guys could come here. Can you tell us a little bit about, where you went to school and you grew up?
I'll start. I'm Dan Tillery, and I went to school at Waterford Kettering. I'm from Waterford, born and raised, and met Dave here in Waterford.
That's right.
And where are you?
The Motor City Guitar.
Yeah.
I'm Dave. I grew up in Commerce, went to Wall Lake Northern, did some college at OCC in Columbia and Chicago for jazz performance.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Jazz hands.
So how did you guys meet at Motor City Guitar?
We were playing, we kind of just picking up the guitars as you do in the acoustic room, and kind of strum around to see what one best fits you. And I picked up one and I started strumming a tune, and he accommodated it from behind with tasty
Like
weed.
the other side of the room.
Yeah, from the other side. And we were like, we just kind of morphed into like be sitting next to each other, writing a song. Actually, we wrote a song called Summer Groove in there, and it was pretty. It was a really good song, and I, sung the lyrics, and he was throwing the tasty melodies in. And
That's how you know it's good, when you just start writing a song with somebody you've never met. Guitar store.
Hey, maybe we should do something.
yeah, we'll write one right now.
All right.
Let's go. We'd have to re-meet. I know him now. We know it's not
Yeah,
the same
the
magic.
magic's not there anymore.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about your dog?
Yeah, I got a dog a couple of years ago. It's about 2 years now, and we always wanted a dog. I grew up with dogs, grew up with big dogs, and even from when I moved out of my house, when I've lived with friends over the years, roommates, they've always had dogs, so I've always been living with a dog. When I bought my first house, that was kind of the goal. I always wanted to own my own, but without a apartment, you can't have dogs. So I finally was able to, and I was tagged in multiple pictures of this one dog, particularly Diggy, which you might know, and he reminded me very much of the dog I had lived with for the past 6 years. Big American bully, fun-loving, 90 pounds, a lap dog. And so I got him. When I had got him, they had him under an American Bulldog mix. So I went and picked him up, brought him home. And once I posted the picture, I had a pretty large following as it was. And so the picture went viral between me and Detroit Dog Rescue's sharing of it. So once that happened and it went viral, competitive dog rescue is, to my belief, is kind of who called on us, maybe a little bitter. So we were told that the neighbors and friends had called because they were scared of the dog because he looked kind of pit bullish. But that wasn't the case. To come to find out, they're big fans. He's a nice dog. So the cops showed up at my house within the few days of me having him, and they said they were going to take him, and he's got to go back to the kennel. He had already been in a kennel for over 100 days and just kind of was thrown away, So I said, there's no way. At that point, as soon as I met him, I was attached. He's a good, we became friends. So I said no, and so we kind of fought and had a legal battle. And they're kind, as much as people were angry with the Waterford police and a lot of Waterford Township. They were just doing, they're not evil people. They just were kind of following protocol, and I helped change that a little bit, and it's nice to be a part of it. It worked out, and they were very kind to me at the end, and I got to keep Diggy, who's a big goof.
Yeah,
he's my bud.
So you have, which is a weird hobby, is your fitness.
Yeah. Just always keeps me grounded. I've always kind of been disciplined, and it's always benefited me in many other ways growing up through mental or emotional, or it's just something that you can exert a lot of energy or thought into, or even the lack of their thought. You go in there and that's kind of a meditation. Like for those 2 hours, you're just enjoying growing, whether mentally and physically, and it's a lot of fun. And I like to push myself, challenge myself. So yeah, I do that as often as possible. Yeah.
And you?
I'm inspired, man. I just recently gotten into working out.
All right.
And we'll be Fit Boys.
Yeah.
Shred.
That'll be the new name of our new regular. Will be the Fit Boys.
I go for a couple of days in a row, and then all of a sudden I went, "Oh, what happened?" And it's 2 weeks later, and
well, you had even just mentioned,
right.
You had even just mentioned without the fitness, that cutting sugar and stuff out of your diet, you've lost 30 pounds, and I can imagine you feel lighter, both mentally and emotionally. Right? You feel better. So I want to live a long, healthy life, and I know that there's I don't want to be. I don't want to be young
Unhealthy.
and unhealthy. I don't want to be unhealthy and not be able to do things. So yeah.
So you have a CD out, Dreamers and Drifters.
Yep, we actually have 2 albums out and a couple singles on iTunes and Spotify. We have our first one that we did when Dan and Dave meet, and that was fun. And we got together, and it actually turned out really well. We did the same thing that we did, kind of grassroots from home, and it was good. But then we just have a lot of songs that we've either written or started, or sometimes have improv into wanting to turn into a song. So we moved into a little better technology, and Dave had grown as a producer and engineer, and with what we had, I think we did pretty well with, still using the bare bones of cheapest mics, cheapest everything, and but bringing in some features. Dave Bennett from Waterford, and some other features from around James Pine, and it was fun to be able to collaborate and create something that we think is great. So
it is great.
We just need to kind of rebrand and put it back out to where more ears can hear it. So yeah, we have those 2 albums on iTunes and on every platform that you could get.
And you also play around here and in Detroit, and
we play as often as possible. As of right now, we're kind of trying to focus on as much of our personal lives being about a day or 2, and then doing some recordings. We play 4 to 5 nights a week out, and whether it be a private event, a wedding, mostly in between the bar gigs and events and casinos. So yeah, and a little bit of travel in between. People will bring us to certain places to play for them. So I just got back from Baltimore, and actually it was a fun performance. I performed for a bunch of dogs, and they were the best audience ever.
It was the cutest video.
Yeah, they were the best audience ever. So yeah, it was good.
So you have a new project coming up.
Yeah, we kind of have a new project, as I had mentioned before. We have some new songs as well that we're working on that we're going to bring to life. But we've kind of teamed up with a bigger production, bigger budget. We want to be able to compete with the marketing of these big bands, and so we've teamed up with a producer and engineer at a really nice studio, and we're gonna they took the 4 songs as of right now that they think are the most marketable and that they really enjoy, and we're fine tuning those, and we're gonna kind of we use the best equipment that we can use to where they can really turn it into something that sounds really nice for everybody.
It's gonna sound amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna blow people back.
Yes.
So yeah, we're working on that. That should be out soon, and then we'll also come. We've done everything ourselves as far as with the recording and producing, and as also the shows. We would like to be a full ensemble and be able to have the bass and the drums and we've brought some friends in and some people over the years where they've been able to give us that sound for some bigger shows, but still to be able to have the horn section, the string section, the keys, that's kind of what we're working towards. So with this new team that we're with, that's what we'll have. We'll have the sound, and we'll be able to perform it live. So with a full ensemble of talented artists. Yeah, make us sound better than we are. Fill the sound out. Yeah, we're excited about that.
That'll be excellent. And you had kind of recently just had a surgery and on your face.
Yeah, it was a Mohs surgery. Yep. I had basal cell. So I had basal cell skin cancer on my face, and so they had to go in and cut it out. They cut about the size of a dime out of my face, and it's actually healing pretty well. I don't know if you can see this type of scarring. I've got a little cover up from the sun outside right now on it, as much sunblock as I can cover it up with. But yeah, so it's been about this will be the 3rd week tomorrow of recovery, and it's honestly, a lot of people have asked me like, how you feeling, and the surgery was quick, and I feel since that's happened, the scar's there and it will heal, but I feel like a weight's been lifted. I looked at it every day for almost 2 years, knowing that this was something. What is that? I need to get rid of that, and finally, they told me, yeah, you definitely got to get it cut out or it will spread. So I did, and I feel great. I would rather look at this scar all day than before knowing, like, under not knowing, like, what is
you don't
this?
want to have cancer on your face.
No, and it was just a wound, so I feel really happy now. Yeah, I got it cut out and ready to rock.
All right.
Yeah.
So where do some songs come from? Do they just all of a sudden, like you were saying at Motor City, you were just sitting there and you just got inspired, or?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they just come from the ether, you know what I mean? Just when you're right in the moment, relax, clear your mind, you know, especially when you're relaxed, there's just so many things that you can just draw. Start with the chord, start with the rhythm, start with the melody.
Yeah, I guess everybody has their own type of, like, Bob Dylan was probably the guy that would sit and write down the most beautiful poem ever and then try to find ways to arrange around it. Whereas opposed someone might write down the arrangement and then find some, you know, what it makes you feel when you hear that arrangement, then you'll write the lyrics based off that. So we have different types of...
It's one of those questions, yeah, there's literally just hundreds of ways that you could become inspired or get ideas.
You had mentioned before Forever you wanted us to play,
Yeah.
which we will. So that was a song that Dave had. We were just sitting in my living room and he just started playing. Maybe he had arranged it before or he had been working on something, but he just started playing this.
I heard a song on the radio. Well, what was it?
Oh, you did say
I forgot the
that.
artist. I was just inspired by it, so I just played something similar with this similar type of vibe. What was it? Nothing from nothing.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I just heard something in the car that inspired me, and then started playing the
Turner
couch.
song.
And so I just started to, he started playing it, I started singing.
Jackson Brown, I think.
Jackson Brown, I'm trying to think of what one I'm trying to
Bill Withers. Nothing from nothing.
Yeah, who is it? Yeah.
It
It was that type of, you know,
You gotta have
dun, dun,
something.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
that constant
I
rhythm.
think that's Bill Withers. Yeah.
But it ended up becoming something. It has this old,
Yeah.
like
the crooner type of,
crooner in New Orleans, and
yeah.
Yeah.
it really
it a swing? What
transformed.
was that?
Yeah, it swung.
Yeah.
It's like a old
Jazz
swinger.
blues kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was written in no way on purpose or with any type of thought. We just, and then, yeah, the words, the first word that came out was Forever, and so we based the song around that. That's how it happens a lot. There's some, the other day I just put out a song that me and Dave put together, but I originally, when I was writing the lyrics to it, sometimes, because I don't like to give credit towards, oh, maybe that's from that, or maybe that's from the pain, or this is what this has to mean now. Like, now rehearing it, maybe that was my subconscious just speaking, but I was very much just in the moment and allowing the words to come out as they wanted to. So this song, you know, it must have something behind it. You know, I had a hard time getting through it when I was first writing it and singing it. It would make me tear up thinking, which means it must have been somewhere internally and just wanting to get out.
Yeah,
but
that was a powerful time for you. I remember it. Once you were finished.
I couldn't. Yeah. So that's how that one was written. Different for every song. Different for every song. How we pull.
Okay. So we're going to hear you play now. So
Uh-oh.
There we go.
we're going to have
If you like to hear us talk.
Dan Tillery and Dave G play for you. Peace out.
And now we're going to sing you a song off of our second album. It's called Dreamers and Drifters. You can go download that right now. We'll wait. No, wait. It's on all platforms. And this is actually the first song off the album with a feature of our good friend Dave Bennett, who you might know. And so this is Forever. I know we're taking forever. Yeah, he's actually right next door at this time, which is a great coincidence. So this song's called Forever.
Here we go.
Well, I've been waiting around forever, love, but forever didn't seem to come quick enough for us. But if you give me your forever, oh darling, I swear my forever's there. So won't you give me your forever? I will both this sing and dance while we're singing with our heads. If you give me your forever, oh darling, it's true. Forever to you. La, la. So give me yours, I'll give you mine forever, yes. I'll return the same favor, oh, and I'll savor every single moment. Darling, it's true, my forever to you, my forever love, my forever, ever, and darling, it's true. My forever love, my forever love to you. Yeah, that was Forever. Thank you guys very much for listening. Thanks, guys. Another one, what we're gonna do. I don't want to really rock and like scream, so I don't want to do Somewhere Between Her Doctor or whatever. But we could do Don't Worry or Darling I, or Who Do You Think You Are?
Let's do Darling I.
Darling I? Okay. Darling I is the second song off of this album, I believe.
Oh wow, so we're just gonna go chronological, I think.
And then there's Let Me, might as well, yeah. This was an accident, but yeah. Yeah, this is Darling I. We haven't played this one out, but one of my favorites. Kind of a... Ooh, yeah. Darling I've got a little story. It starts when I love you. Well, have I told you lately, darling, I'm always thinking of you. Oh, that's when I've got to know. Darling, always, how did I forget that? Have I told you lately, darling, I'm always thinking of you. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Said I love you. Oh, darling, I love you. Yes, it's true. Darling, I've got a bigger story. It starts when I need you. If you love this feeling, darling, well, this is just the preview. Oh, when we touch, it sends a sudden rush. It's almost too much, dear. Well, have I told you lately, darling, I love to have you near. Well, I love you. I love you. Say I love you. Oh, darling, I love you. Yes, I do. All right. Darling, I've got a good story. It starts when I love you. Have I told you lately, darling, I'm always thinking of you. I am always thinking of you. Oh, darling, I'm always thinking of you. Oh, yeah, it's true. I'm always thinking of you. Oh, darling, it's true. I'm always thinking of you, of you. Says I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, it's true. I love you. Yes, I do. I do. I do. I love you. Yes, I do. I do. I do. I love you. Yes, I do. Darling, yes, I love you. You know I love you. I love you, yes, I do. I love you, yes, I do. Darling, I love you. Yeah, chimes, you know. The bird flies away. That was Darling I. Thanks for listening to that, guys. That's number 2, as I said, off of the Dreamers and Drifters album. This song is called Honey. It's off of our first, I guess it would be an EP. It's 6 songs on it, or is there 7? And it's called When Dan and Dave Meet. And yeah, I think this is number 4 or something on there. Really pretty. We need some background singers, you know, if they were here, they'd be like, honey, sorry I don't have much money. We'll be hand by hand, baby, me, your man, oh, you my girl. Oh, darling, me and you, we go so far, and we reach the tops of trees, you and me. Oh, darling, let's do all of these things. Oh, oh, oh. It's just me and you. Oh, oh, oh. Lost in your greens, you in my blues. Oh, sweetheart, tell me, when did we start? All these things that we've done, all the love, darling, all the fun. Oh, baby, baby, look at all that we've created. Hey, hey. No hesitation, if I could, yes, I would do it all again. You're my best friend. Oh, oh, oh. It's just me and you. Oh, oh, oh. Lost in your in my blues. Lost in your dreams, you in my blues. Lost in your dreams, you in my blues. Honey, yes I do. No, just kidding. Yeah, that's Honey. That song's off our first album, and it's, we kept it in the, what's that? What genre is that?
The old R&B doo-wop times.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Much more of an eclectic mix if you go to the album. Both of them actually. You know, you're gonna get some. We're gonna be giving it to you, or we're gonna be booping and bopping. You know, you just find a little bit. You're gonna find a little bit of everything. You can check us out. So, Tillery and Dave G, Dreamers and Drifters, or When Dan and Dave Meet. Those are the albums, and got a couple singles out as well. So, some featured some artists on as well. So, thanks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
Thank you. Peace out. Man.
Peace out.
Thank you, guys.
It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going on. your life, it will creep.